Not too long ago, we took a GMC Sierra 2500 pickup out for a look at some interesting sights in the southwestern part of New Mexico. Our first stop was at the Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument to explore some 700-year-old houses. About 6,000 feet up in the Gila National Forest are cliff sides that the Mogollon people built their homes in the late 1200s. Because the homes were actually built into caves on the cliff faces and were protected from the harsher elements, they remain in amazingly good condition today. Stone walls, steps, rooms, and even wooden beams are still intact, even though these homes were abandoned in the early 1300s. Inside 5 caves, there are a total of about 40 rooms, and the archaeologists say the dwellings were home to about 10 to 15 families. The Mogollon people who inhabited the area were farmers who tended the fields on the mesa on top of the cliffs and along the riversides down below. A mile-long loop trail takes you through a forested valley and up into the cliff dwellings. Because of the high altitude and steepness of the trail, it can be pretty strenuous. Make sure you carry drinking water and are wearing sturdy shoes to handle the rough, uneven climb. The Gila Cliff Dwellings are certainly worth seeing, and the U.S. Forest Service can provide you with information on camping and backcountry hiking and horseback riding in the area. A little bit south of the cliff dwellings, we found the old mining town of Pinos Altos, where things still look a lot like they did when the town sprang to life in the 1860s. It's a quiet place whose inhabitants are mostly descendants of the original miners that settled there. From the forests, we headed out to the more wide-open spaces of the White Sands National Monument. The White Sands name may make you think of a missile range, and in fact the monument is surrounded by a missile testing range that's been in use since just after World War II. But we were looking for the actual white sand, and we found plenty of it. First, we saw white sand hills rising up from the desert shrubbery. Then sand began to drift across the roadway, and suddenly, all we could see was white sand in every direction. As you can see, it looks like we were driving on a big frozen lake in the middle of a winter wonderland. But that's all sand, white sand. The monument is in the Tularosa Basin, which was formed on what was the bottom of a sea about 250 million years ago. Gypsum deposits that were in that ancient body of water turned to stone, and eventually into the white sand we see today. Strong winds blow the sand into giant dunes that create a constantly changing landscape in the area. But even in the shifting sands, you can find vegetation, and some of these plants can have stems that extend down as far as 30 feet. You can hike nature trails and backcountry areas, or just play in the sand like you're on a giant beach with no ocean. There are even covered picnic tables available. At the Visitors Center, you can get information about the formation of the dunes and about nature walks and other programs conducted by park rangers. You probably won't find anything quite like White Sands National Monument anyplace else. Stop by and check it out if you're in the area. We're pleased to tell you that our GMC Sierra, with its spacious, comfortable interior, made quite an enjoyable travel companion. For a heavy-duty truck, the Sierra proved to be impressively agile on the tight, twisty mountain roads we encountered, and the 6-liter engine provided great power for the steep grades and high altitude, as well as the open road. A nice truck, nice roads, and nice places to go. Can't ask for more than that.